How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RUFFLEDLIVE, and welcome back to a brand new video. Got some rumors to talk about and stuff like that, so let's get started right away. Kicking things off right here, coming to us from, of course, our boy Eclipse, as well as Makio and J Roses, who put together a list of all the Pokemon that are going to be returning in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which there are about 155 of so far. As mentioned here, though, it's 150 returning Pokemon that are both confirmed between the official news, so the official actual trailers, as well as the leaks. So this is what we have on this list. So we can go from the top here, and we're going to open up this image just so we can get a more clear image of what we have right here. So starting things off for, I guess, Gen 1, the confirmed Pokemon obviously are, we got like, I guess Pikachu, Raichu, etc., stuff like that. Mankey and Primeape are returning in some way or shape. Diglett in some way as well. Meowth, Persian, Venomoth. I'm going to just kind of scroll through here so you guys can kind of, pause at different times to look at, what you want to look at. But there you go. So for Gen 1, these are some of the Pokemon you'll be seeing, returning. We don't have a confirmation for Arcanine and them. We don't have confirmation on that. As for Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite, no confirmation. Mareep is back, though. Alongside a few other Gen 2 Pokemon, so we're going to go through that really slowly here. Again, if you guys want to pause this at any point or go to the tweet yourself, you guys can see, if you go back, where that is exactly, what the Twitter account is and all that. But again, like I said, you can just pause the video here at any point if you want to see a Pokemon that, you enjoy and you want to see if it's actually available. And there you go. So that's that. We scroll further down. And here we go. We're in Gen 3 at this point, I think. We may have missed some stuff. But yeah, Umbreon, Espeon, the evolutions are back more or less. Wooper is returning with a regional form. We got Sunflora and whatnot as well. Sunkern, Sentret, Furret, and Apom, I think, have been confirmed as not being in the game, but we don't really know about that. Jumpluff, Skiploom. Actually, I don't know about Apom and them. I actually don't know a lot of info on them. But either way, Blissey's back. You got Quillfish, Smoochum, etc. You got loads of those Pokemon. I'm going to scroll down even further now, down here, and we're going to keep scrolling. We don't have a confirmation for any of the legendaries just yet, I think. We barely have info on that. If you guys missed it up there, we don't really know about Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and all them. But there you go. That's a lot of the Gen 3 Pokemon, pretty much there in the list. Like I said, again, you guys can pause this if you want to look through and see if you missed anything. So we're just going to quickly go through this. And like I said, pause at any point. There you go. That's that. And then we go down even further. Gen 5. Oops. Gonna just go through very quickly. Zoroark are back with the Hisuian Zoroark and Hisuian Zorua form. And we know Larvesta is coming back, and Volcarona is getting two forms, the future and past form. We know that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the list. Like I said, you guys can just, again, pause through this, look through it on your own, and see what you saw and, didn't see and all that. And you can look through the list on your own as per usual. And yeah, here we have like no leaked info, so it's not going to be returning because of leaked info. The yellow ones are maybes, and green ones are, these ones are kind of yes from leaked info and yes from official info. But there you go. That's the list. Like I said, again, you guys can pause this at any point here to look through it if you want to. And that is the list. So now let's move on to some other information. Starting things off, we have this post right here from Soul Silver. It says, warning, K-Leaker is back. So Kaka-Leaker is back. I actually had a tweet planned on how I'm grateful that we still don't know what so many characters, rivals, Elite Four, and villains look like. I'm hoping he keeps his word and is done even if his account is active, especially with a trailer around the corner. So yes, the Kaka-Leaker has returned. Yes, he is back. He has returned, and he's basically shown up once more. The leaker who gave us all the recent info has shown up again, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we can get the trailer this coming week. We are about to get into August, okay? We're about to get into August now, so a trailer should happen at the start of August. If not, then I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what kind of stuff they're huffing over at the Pokemon Company, but they're clearly doing some hardcore shit over there if they're thinking that they can't release another trailer just yet, because they are crazy if they think that. Seriously, I know some people might be like, but we got one at the start of June. But the problem is, last time around, we already had one at the start of July when it was Sword and Shield news. Shit, even before that, we would have news more often. Now we're barely getting anything. And the problem is, the game is almost supposed to release. It's not like we're a long way away from the release date of these things. They're really on our doorstep. Okay, this game is on our doorstep, and we know nothing. And I'm going to be honest with you, This is worse, in my opinion, than when we got to learn that there was barely anything in the Pokedex and we had the, the National Dex drama back with Sword and Shield. I think this is a bigger thing that people should be pissed off about because they don't know anything about the game. We just know, oh, you can do 4-player co-op and it's an open world. That's it. We don't have an official confirmation about gyms, about other features in the game, things to do, all these extra things, the length of the game, anything, just literally anything else, more Pokemon that will be in there. We know basically nothing, and that's kind of the big issue in my opinion. They need to tell us more, and unfortunately they haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna just be honest, I think it's a bit sketchy, but it is what it is. Either way, then we have this post right here, which is apparently posted on Tieba Baidu, which I've pointed out before. Tieba Baidu is kind of the Reddit or 4chan type, website for specifically China. It's the Chinese version of that, where they post leaks and stuff like that. So there's been this image, which looks to be to people like a version of possibly a Sprigatito evolution, or Sprigatito, Evo. And here's what Soul says. People have been asking me my opinion on this leak. This is well done and kind of close to the Okaka image leak, but there are some inconsistencies that give me pause. The biggest red flag, however, is that the user on Baidu reposted it, and we know they aren't legit. So for me, this is 99.9% fake. And you also had this image, which is, this one's obviously fake. This just proves my point even more. People are going to start making, art models and leaks based off of Kaka's real leaks. So be careful out there. This is also 99% fake. I think this is 100% fake. There is not even a 99% on it. It's 100% fake. Both these two. I mean, I don't know about this one. This one here, the gameplay one, I'm a little bit iffy on that one. But this one down here, 100% fake. Okay, 100% fake. No questions about it. Gonna tell you that right now. Then we move on to another subject, which is from Soul Silver. It says, spoilery. So, are Ultra Beasts legendaries or not? Now, why is he talking about Ultra Beasts? Well, basically, because Ultra Beasts were this kind of extra thing added, like this extra new form almost of Pokemon that were added back in, Sun and Moon, alongside other features like Z moves, right? And also regional forms. And remember, Ultra Beasts weren't regional forms. They were kind of like brand new Pokemon. And we know that these, past and future Pokemon that we're going to be getting, that are past forms and future forms, they're not really, those Pokemon that they're based on. So if we get a future form of Delibird, that really isn't Delibird. That's a brand new Pokemon. And these Pokemon will be similar to Ultra Beasts because they're basically traveling through wormholes to the past, right? The same way the Ultra Beasts travel through these, Ultra wormholes into other, I guess, dimensions, more or less, right? In this case, multiple different dimensions. And the reason I'm bringing all this up, the reason I'm even mentioning dimensions and all this goofy stuff is, are these Pokemon, are Ultra Beasts considered legendary or not? And if so, would we then consider these new Pokemon as legendary, right? I think not. I think Ultra Beasts are separate, and they're a separate entity. The same way these new Pokemon will kind of share a similarity to Ultra Beasts, but not be Ultra Beasts. And if you think it's too many, I only really realized it, after like the last 3 weeks, that if you think about the fact that we're going to be getting, regional forms, regional fakes, which are these weird, mimic Pokemon, and also future ancient, paradox Pokemon, and loads of other stuff as well, plus the crystallization gimmick. You might think, oh, that's too many, but in reality, if you go back to even Sun and Moon, they had Ultra Beasts, they had regional forms, they had Z moves, they had even Megas return, not brand new Megas, but old Megas, that was back as well. So my point is, there's always a possibility. But either way, I think Megas were back then. I don't know. Either way, so he says, I can't wait for the endless debates between fans and Chomeric on if Paradox Pokemon are actually legendaries or not. I mean, they are basically new Ultra Beasts that are from a different time and instead of a different space. So yes, instead of them being from a different dimension or different space time or whatever, they're literally from just a different time in history almost. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section down below. It'll be interesting to see how that's going to turn out. And this is coming to us from Soul Says. I just want to address this because somehow there's still confusion around it. The best idea is to throw the word forms out. Yes, this will be like brand new Pokemon. They will look just like older ones. We have no idea if there will be an official name for them or not. So technically there are no regional fakes at all. The pink eel is just a new Pokemon. Well, yes and no. We just have to see how that's going to turn out because we were told that this eel Pokemon that's kind of similar in design to, an existing one, in this case, like Diglett, it's basically a brand new Pokemon that mimics aspects of an existing Pokemon. So it's kind of like, if you think about it like this, okay? Think about how Generation 5 was kind of like a soft reboot of Pokemon. And you had loads of Pokemon in Gen 5 that were just kind of like, alternatives to existing actual Pokemon, right? Like they were just kind of an alternative to it, right? Like a soft reboot, so to say. And think about this in the same sense, right? This is kind of like in that same direction. So just take that into account, I would argue. But either way, he says here following, though, it's highly likely that they won't be given an official name by the Pokemon Company, but the point is that they are so similar to the older Pokemon that it's still a new feature and gimmick of Scarlet and Violet. We, the fans, will notice. Game Freak wants us to notice. Who said these are like memes, so in other words, they are the joke made by Game Freak. And whether they have an official name or not, fans will create a fan name in order to categorize them as something, because we will notice that they are basically copies of other Pokemon. Game Freak might even just lump them in as a regional form because RFs always still look like their older forms. Or maybe they will call them mimic Pokemon or copycat Pokemon or clone Pokemon, all of which are great names we could use as fan names too. I think Joke Pokemon is actually a great fan name, and then we have Ku's name, the Fakes, which I find totally accurate and acceptable. Even though, yes, he came up with the name because he thought they were regional fakes, I guess, or regional forms, and then he had to work with those letters to fix it once he found out they weren't literal forms. Clever. Here's more great explanation below by Jordan, so you guys can see right here. Either way, so technically, yes, the pink eel is just a new Pokemon, but it will look just like Diglett, but long, right? Also, I can totally see the Pokemon Company Incorporated revealing this mimic fake Diglett, but it has a totally different name in a trailer and not explaining anything, so that all the people that don't follow leaks will go nuts about how there's a new Pokemon that looks just like Diglett, but how and why. Well, we'll have to see if that's going to be the case, but I do think something like that could happen. I think it would be pretty fun, actually. And then Kinisana says, I think this is a great take. A hammer like this would either be fighting or steel type. Now, what is he talking about? Well, basically, there's just been this mention about a hammer Pokemon, right? And here's what Pokemon FM said. Kaka mentioned the pink Pokemon with a hammer is a fairy type and is the ace of an Elite Four. I might be wrong, but the Elite Four seems to be a fighting type. Hammer suits the fighting type theme, and fighting type waifus are a thing. Well, fair enough. So he says, I either would be a fighting or steel type. We could also eliminate other options, since we know that Elite Four are all the types that have been used in the previous games, on top of what we know, all the gyms and types, so none of those either. Well, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with the pink, hammer Pokemon, but anything is possible, I guess. Then we move on to the next thing, which is about, I think in this case, the naming of a Pokemon. So this is what Riddle said, which is, Nemona seems to be a perfect character from the story of Titan. She's basically a goddess, both tender and powerful. And then over here, goddesses in Roman antiquity, you got a bunch of different names right here. And he says the following. So I knew the name before Kaka, and I was waiting to share this revelation. When the region was revealed, but since it's never happened and everyone knows it now, knows it now. Anyway, let's see. Happened, and everyone knows it now. Anyway, when Ku called Nemona a goddess, I lost it. My android theory aside, pal equals friend, and dea equals goddess in Latin. So Paldea, which is quite interesting. Why didn't Game Freak want to tell us the region name right away? Is it because we would have come to the same conclusion? I've been speculating since Nemona was first revealed that she is or is related to, or was related to, a good god or a goddess or angel, and once I saw the Dea, it all just clicked. On top of that, Ku then goes and cheekily said she's basically a goddess. Of course, Ku could not be hinting at anything, but I hope you see now that the potential for Nemona to actually be supernatural, holy, or advanced could be very likely. She could be related to an actual goddess, or she could be a literal goddess herself, and most likely she wouldn't know who or what she truly is until the end game of the plot, where it's revealed to her and us. Paldea could also be a double meaning, our friend goddess or goddess friend region. They could go on a million different directions with this, but imagine there'll be a deity that the people of this region revere, and maybe even worship, that is integral to the plot, but may also just be in the background, much like PLA's almighty Sinnoh. And along the way, we find out the importance, power, and relevance of this goddess. This, of course, is just a theory. I think it's a great theory, my friend, which I think is worthwhile to mention. But yeah, my guy, fantastic. We move on to the next thing, which is also from Soul. So I believe we'll be getting Scarlet and Violet news soon, which my guy, my brother, I really hope we do soon. And given how much time has passed and the casuals know nothing about this game, then it will be a big news drop. This means that likelihood of it being a presents is high. If that's the case, we could get an announcement too. So, he says the following. So there's a good chance of an announcement, especially today, but also up until the day before the news. However, at the same time, this news could just easily be a big trailer. If you recall, we saw them filming a live action piece at the beginning of this month. So yes, at the start of July, we literally have footage of them filming a Scarlet and Violet trailer They literally are filming it. This is literal proof. This is actually the trailer being filmed. And usually, when they film this, it takes about a month and a half or so, a month and a half, for them to edit this together and put out an actual trailer of it, right? Like, it usually takes about a month and a half, around that time, right? Maybe 2 months sometimes. But we do know that it takes about that time for them to take this footage, you know, lump it together into a trailer and then ship it out for people to watch, right? So we can assume then that if this was filmed at the end of June, beginning of July, and we're about to roll into August, by now, in August, we're gonna get this trailer. Like, they have filmed the trailer. This is proof. Right here is proof that they filmed the trailer. The only question is, when will it drop exactly? That's what we're waiting for. We have literal proof it's happening. We just don't know exactly when. He says, so whether that's for now or a later trailer remains to be seen. The point is that we need a lot explained. I could even see them doing an in-depth breakdown of the new game mechanics like the gimmick, as well as showing us how an open-world Pokemon game is going to work. This means there's also a good chance there will be a gameplay showcase, or better yet, a live gameplay showcase, something like Nintendo's Treehouse Lives. At least this last bit is my sincere hope. If not, I'm sure it will be a hefty and great news drop. I'll be sharing my prediction in the next days. Lastly, today was my prediction for when Kaka would return. I'm still hoping he won't, but unlike most others, always thought he would just wait in almost a week, and then come back. Maybe Monday instead, but I'm hoping never. Yeah, he doesn't really like Kaka. I know, like Soul Silver is not the biggest fan of Kaka. I get him, but I like the leaks, okay? I enjoy the leaks, but that's just me, okay? That's just me. I'm not getting anything from the Pokemon Company. At least, like Kaka, the Kaka man is at least giving it to me, okay? Either way, we also have this. On top of this, all week long, I can't stop thinking about Gen 9 being the first true time since Gen 4 that we'll get this many pure cross-gen Evos like this. Barring Sylveon and special cases like the regional Evos and PLA, I don't know, there's something that just excites me about each of them, and let's see, and I know you may think, well, the typings are lame, but these are pure evolutions of old Pokemon. Just like if Raichu didn't exist, but Pikachu got an Evo in a later generation, the Evo would still almost always follow its pre-Evo type and become electric. So if Dunsparce were to evolve like any other regular Pokemon, naturally it would keep its normal typing, maybe not even gain another typing because it's the natural next step. Same with the Girafarig Evo, which is a Pokemon I cannot stop looking at, by the way, and so on and so forth. So, what is he talking about? Basically, we know the bunch of Pokemon are going to be getting cross-gen evolutions. Like, examples of that are Magmortar, Electivire, Mismagius, Roserade, Rhyperior, Gallade. These are Pokemon that had, like, you know, the pre-evolutions of their versions, you know, before these showed up. And these are cross-gen Evos. So these are permanent, right? These are not a regional form that's exclusive to a region. These are literally permanent evolutions that are logically the next step in that Pokemon's evolution chain, and we're getting more of those now. He says the Primeape situation apparently has a special method, so that makes sense too. All I know is I'm so hyped and so ready to see and use these fun new designs that we've all been waiting to exist forever ago. This is an opinion and hype thread, so just wants to say that I think the reason the PLA Evos didn't feel the same to this, it wasn't a new gen of Pokemon, they were mixed with regional Evos, and the whole premise of them only being Evos in the past made them feel different, which is true. I think that is a fair point that is being made right there. And then we move on to the next thing right here, which is about specifically the evolution of Dunsparce, which I don't really know much about, but he says, I'm still skeptical, but also so happy with the news that Dunsparce Evo is just a bigger Dunsparce. For me, Dunsparce was already a perfect design, it just wasn't strong enough. So how do you improve a fantastic design? Don't change much, just make it larger. As long as its eyes and face are the same, and it doesn't get any weird facial hair, it doesn't get like a fat body, I'll be so hype. And yes, I have a very high standard for this Pokemon, which is fair, dude. And I think this design right here actually looks pretty sick. I don't know who made this one. I'd love to know like the artist behind this one specifically, because this is amazing artwork right here. But hey, I'll be honest, if they can keep it simple like this, I think personally I would be a big fan of it. Like, I think something like this would look awesome. And I know there's a lot of Dunsparce fans that want that goddamn Pokemon to get some love. Then we move on to the idea of like the regional fakes. So the concept of regional fakes, a fan name coined by Ku, is actually great. It's like saying, what if Pikachu wasn't a mouse but instead a puppy that looks just like Pikachu but isn't Pikachu? There are so many possibilities. I wonder if it'll be a mainstay in future games. I do wonder that as well. Like, they often introduce features and then drop them. I do like that they've stayed with like the regional forms and have kept that like gimmick, but I don't want them to overuse that either, right? Like, I don't want them to rely too much on basically just regurgitating designs. I get a lot of people be like, yo, but I like those designs, but that's the thing. Then we're going to just get the same stuff over and over again, and we're not going to progress anywhere. I want them to make brand new IDs and brand new Pokemon and just go a bit wild with it. Like, fuck it, dude. Just be a bit more creative with it. take some creative liberties. But either way, it seems that in Scarlet and Violet, Game Freak veered away from regional forms, whether this means they are slowly transitioning away from RFs or just saving the regional forms for future legend-like games remains to be seen. Was this done so that these fake concepts can replace regional forms? When regional forms were first introduced in Gen 7, they were all Gen 1 Pokemon. According to the leaks, these new fakes are debuting in exactly the same way as all Gen 1 Pokemon. Could this be the same formula Game Freak used with RFs? Imagine no more regional forms, but instead many new Pokemon that look just like older Pokemon, but they're actually totally different creatures. The other probable option is that these new Pokemon may just fall under the same old naming category of regional forms. The truth is, regional fakes was made up and a joke fan term, so Game Freak may still just call them regional forms or variation of RFs, just like regional evolutions. Or we also know from leaks that there'll be only be a few of them in Scarlet and Violet, so it's possible that Game Freak doesn't even name them at all. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? And he says, you know, Pokemon that, like, so basically, instead they're just weird brand new Pokemon that have a striking resemblance to an older existing Pokemon. We know how Game Freak likes to innovate with every new game and comes with new IDs, so we ultimately have to wait and see how this plays out. Also, shout out to my guy for always, like, tagging me, dude. I appreciate that so much. And of course, we have the final part, which is, I was thinking about this again, Salamence and Tyranitar, which we have spoken about, might be getting a future and past form, but we don't really know. Totally make the most sense, but then I thought about Godzilla and Ghidorah. What if instead of one of those two I mentioned, maybe Salamence, it could be something like this. Mecha / Primal Ghidorah, anyone, would be sick. I think that, personally, I think that would be a pretty cool idea, to be honest with you, dude. I think it's a pretty cool concept, but, yeah, you know, we'll see what happens with that. Ladies and gentlemen, though, I think we've gone through pretty much the whole list here. I think that's the video for today. If you guys did enjoy it, of course, as per usual, drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. There was quite a lot here today, I'm not going to lie. It's quite a lot to go through, but that's going to be it for today, guys. Of course, as per usual, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, just thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.